Hello, welcome to Foxy Talks, the good, the bad, and the beautiful. I'm your host, Jamie Lynn, and I'm a medical esthetician and PMU artist who owns Foxy Wings Beauty, located in Ajax, Ontario, which is your one-stop beauty shop. On this podcast, we're going to talk about it all, the good and the bad of being a business owner, a mom, and wife, as well as being a woman in her 30s, which just feels like a weird dynamic. We're also going to talk about the beautiful moments in life, or those that we're fortunate enough to share with clients. I'm going to be real and raw and maybe ruffle some feathers, but this is based off my experiences, and you're going to get complete transparency with me. If there's anything you'd like discussed on the podcast, or maybe have questions about services or trainings offered, even a simple business question, please feel free to reach out to me via email at info@foxywinks.ca or via social media. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram, both under Foxy Wings Beauty. Hey, Happy New Year! Did you start your new year on New Year's Day, or are you following this trend where people started their new year on January 6th? Because it's a Monday. This year was really weird just because of where the days fell. But me personally, I'd like a redo. My year has not started as planned, and Monday when I was going to start it, I instead had kidney stones and been suffering just wicked back pain and could barely move. So my new year will be starting this Monday the 13th. Thank you very much. Also, first episode of the new year, and I think I finally nailed down the podcast intro, but you can tell I've really settled in and got comfortable, even though I know every time I say that I've settled in more. We're coming into this new year confident and comfortable. And with that being said, I'm comfortable enough to out myself and ask, do I really say, quote, and whatnot? A lot when I'm on a spiel. 3 people have pointed that out, and I guess it's my go-to when I lose my train of thought, which, whatever, leave me be. I've gotten a few messages of feedback and really excited now getting an idea of what you guys like and just some fun lighthearted things pointed out, again, like saying and whatnot. So first, quite a few of you enjoyed me getting into the nitty gritty of how clients can act and what we tend to deal with that most people don't even realize. Secondly, I want to talk about accents. Yes, very random, but I get it a lot. And 2 people actually messaged me, Michelle and Teresa, I'm looking at you ladies, asking if I'm American or more specifically Southern. Michelle said, quote, you have like a Southern twang. I find that absolutely hilarious because my mom gets the same thing all the time, and I was just discussing it with my sister. My sister and I bug her and say she's our Southern belle, but truth be told, no, we're not Southern nor American. I'm actually born and raised right here in Durham region. I guess I just talk funny. And with that, let's finally get into the actual episode. Would you trust your partner to do beauty or self-care stuff to you? And for my beauty provider specifically, do you get stuff done? And if so, do you barter with another person to get the services complimentary? Or how did you find the right person for you? Because I know since we offer the services, it can be a little more hard since we know what's going on and what specifically we want. We're all human, and it's no secret we want to look good and feel good. So we do some self-care stuff like our nails, lashes, body contouring, and so much more. But we obviously can't do everything on ourselves, and maybe, or just sometimes, we just want somebody else to do it. So for me, I've done quite a few things to myself that typically you'd pay someone else to do. I've tattooed my own lips. I had freckles at one point. Tattooed on. I've tattooed my arms and that all myself. Not that that's a huge deal, but still, typically you'd get somebody else to do it. And so my reason for doing it myself is because I obviously am certified in the services. I know how to do them. And I had a pretty rough brow experience, which is going to bring me into the next topic-ish. My brows are this weird blue color, and I don't know if I have hair loss since having a hysterectomy, but my hair is starting to thin, and where the brows are tattooed on is above the actual hair, so it's a little bit of a different look. Not to mention, it doesn't match my other brow. So that leads me into, would you trust your spouse to do these things to you? So with my brows, I've become very self-conscious. Like, I'm in the industry, I should be put together, and my brows should look good. I shouldn't have the weird blue brows and misshapen brows that I warn clients about. So this New Year day, or maybe it was not long after, it might have been just before, my husband drove me to work, and I had the great idea of I have the machine. Why would I pay somebody else to remove my brows when I can do it myself? No, your girl can't put the goggles on, protect my eyes, and get the right spot. I do tattoo removals, and when I do the removals, I of course numb my clients. But I personally have a pretty high pain tolerance, so I thought, no, I don't need numbing. It's going to be a quick process. I will show my husband, Matt, how to do it. So I showed Matt how to do it on tattoo on my wrist that I'm slowly removing. He was fine. He was, I wouldn't say comfortable, but he was willing to do it for me. So your girl lays on the bed. Hubby gets all set up. I literally had to breathe through it because I was just nervous. And when I tell you, I sat straight up like out of a movie. When he just shot me once with the laser to remove the pigment, I sat straight up like a frigging lightning bolt. It was like somebody took a goddamn knife and just sliced me right square in the face. It was so painful, and I can't believe I do that to clients. I'm so glad I numb you guys first. But all you ladies that get the laser tattoo removal, you're my heroes, because that shit sucks. So, needless to say, hubby only zapped me the one time. We didn't do my actual eyebrow because of the freaking pain. But yeah, I trust him to do most beauty stuff. But would you trust your husband? And I know there's a lot of the home kits now for like lash lifts or brow lamination. And some of them are great, especially if you're capable of keeping your eyes shut. Then sure, do it on yourself, save money. And yes, I know I'm going to catch flack from providers because I support people doing their stuff at home. But this economy is hella expensive. Why not save a dime if you can? And again, you're always going to get transparency with me, so I'm not going to gatekeep what to do. I've helped clients be able to manage this stuff at home. But I've also tried lash extensions on myself at home. I've used sensitive glue and been able to get in there, get them on, and they've lasted a while. However, I find it doesn't dry quite as quick from leaving my eye open and a fan on. Which, yes, that sounds counteractive. The fan should dry it. But for some reason, these more sensitive ones, their viscosity is a lot thinner, so it stays sticky longer, which causes my isolation to suck, and I get stickies and have had a little bit of lash damage. And again, transparency, did it to myself. Or I have used stronger glues where you just get that burning, and I'm sure that's why I need glasses now. My eyesight's even worse than it was before. Now, for my beauty girls, the girls in the industry, the girls that know what's up, what's going on, do you barter your services? So, if you don't know what bartering is, which I learned from a student, not everybody obviously understands the concept of it. Do you get your lashes done by somebody else and in return do their lashes, or maybe you do nails, maybe you do body contouring, you just trade services instead of actual payment? And if so, how did you go about it? Like, is it just a straight trade of services? Do you maybe add a little bit on? And my biggest question, do you tip them? Or, again, just a straight trade? So I've always given a little bit of a tip here and there. It depends on the person. Or we just call it even and move on, especially ones that I've worked with. And while I can appreciate the idea of bartering, that you have something of value to somebody else and vice versa, you're helping promote each other's businesses too, especially if you're like across town from the person you're doing the services from. I think it's great, just again, promoting each other, supporting each other. And you don't even need to barter with somebody who's doing maybe beauty services. I have a client who said that she is a female mechanic, which I think that's kick-ass, go girl. And she barters her nails with her nail lady. So she gets her nails done for free, and in return she does her nail lady's oil changes, her brakes, etc., and so on. I don't know their full deal, but I know that's the gist of it. But there's also the cons of it, of like maybe schedules don't work. I know that was a big issue with me and the girls I was trying to barter services with. We worked about the same times, or maybe I had family stuff when she was available, or my own clients, or she had her own clients booked those specific times, so it just wouldn't work out. And even just finding like a suitable person to barter with, if it's beauty services specifically, and I know I'm really focusing on that, but kind of my niche, so kind of makes sense. I've had a hard time finding people that I like what they do, and vice versa, like the style of lashes they do, or offer services that I want. So for example, I recently quit bartering, but when I was bartering with a tech I work with, she does lashes, but I don't quite like the style and how business is handled, to be, again, transparent. And so she was still getting lash fills from me and would book herself in for free and everything because she had access to my booking site. And it's like I wasn't getting services back because she offered to do my own body contouring, or sorry, do body contouring for me, but I do my own when I do it. So it just nothing of value was coming out of it for me, and I just felt like I was wasting my time and money, or I could have a paying client in my chair instead. Somebody else that I used to barter with too, she actually did my wedding lashes and was a student I taught PMU to. And lashes were good and everything. And then the wedding set, they were gappy, falling out, and I brought it to her attention. And she didn't really care. So for it being such a big event for me, that really kind of sucked and caused that little bit of dispute between us. So it made it kind of awkward and kind of lost that friendship and drifted apart, which it happens. And again, is another reason why I don't particularly barter anymore. And then there's the biggest thing of value. Maybe you charge a lot more for lashes than the other person does, or vice versa, and you're not getting the same value of it. Maybe you use different products. Maybe like myself, you don't like the lashes and you want to do something else like henna brows, or just something that's lesser value than you charge for your lash fills or lash sets. So it's not really equal, and it kind of sucks. And for me, especially if you've been a client of mine, I hate talking money. I don't know why, but I can become very awkward. And I joke around with clients, even doing packages. I tell them I'm a horrible car salesman because I just don't want to push anything on anybody, make them feel like they have to spend their hard-earned money. And maybe they buy a package or something, and then later on they're like, I shouldn't have spent that money. But if the service is rendered, unfortunately, I'm not going to refund it, because that's what was agreed to, and why consent forms are so important and outlining your terms and conditions. So I'd love to know how it's worked for you and finding somebody local and whichever. Money doesn't degrade, it doesn't lose its value. So that's why I find just working straight with money is a lot better. And actually, now to think of it, when I started my business 6 years ago, I had, quote, influencers reach out, and in turn they'd get a free lash set and post my business on their social media or word of mouth. And the very first time I did this, I didn't get the person to sign a consent form. So after her service was done, I was blocked on everything. So it was just product and my time wasted. I haven't done any influencers as of recently. It's such a fine gray line I find with that. But anytime I do have anybody reach out wanting that type of deal that they'll promote me, etc., on their page or anything, I make sure that they sign an influencer consent form indefinitely. And because I know I'll have people ask, and I've had people ask before, the influencer consent form is just stating that they will promote your business X amount of times or X number of days, maybe a month, a week, whatever you guys agree on. Just make sure it's absolutely outlined. And should they not do that, then they have to pay you the full amount for whatever service you render to them, or a certain amount. It's whatever you choose, like you're in control of it, but absolutely get that written out so you don't get screwed over, because it happens. People will do anything just for free stuff and to save a dime. I get economy's hard, but like, this is your hard-earned money to put food on the table for your family. You need to protect your ass at all times. But I think that's it for this episode. I was excited to do the first one for the beginning of the year. I hope 2025 is good to you. Again, my 2025 is not starting until Monday. I don't even care. Hopefully it's better. And if you know any stretches for arthritis in your back or hips, let your girl know, because I'm dying over here. But anyways, I'll catch you on the next one.